Dateline, Salem, Massachusetts, 1692. 8 more convicted witches were executed today in what has become the bloodiest day of the ongoing witch trials in Salem town. The death total now equals 25, including the 5 who have died in prison and 1 who died by torture, in addition to the 19 who have been executed by way of hanging. The hysteria began earlier this year in February when 9-year-old Betty Paris and her 11-year-old cousin Abigail Williams, both conveniently the daughter and niece of the town's Reverend Samuel Paris, began to have fits where they screamed, threw things about the room, uttered strange sounds, crawled under the furniture, and contorted themselves into peculiar positions, according to eyewitnesses. 3 people were then accused and arrested for allegedly afflicting Betty, Abigail, and 2 other girls. These were Sarah Good, a homeless woman, Sarah Osborne, who rarely attended church, and Tituba, an Indian slave. Each of these women was a kind of outcast and exhibited many of the character traits typical of the usual suspects for witchcraft accusations, so their imprisonment raised little attention. However, when Martha Corey and Rebecca Nurse were accused a few weeks later, this deeply troubled the community because both were pious church-going Puritans, throwing the entire town into suspicion. By the end of April, another 19 people were accused and arrested. The next month, Governor William Phipps ordered the establishment of a special court in order to prosecute them, and by the time it opened in late May, 62 men, women, and children were in custody. With so many people arrested, how does one determine for sure if someone is a witch or is being influenced by the devil? To answer this, we now take you live to Salem, where Reverend Cotton Mather, an experienced witch hunter, is about to speak to an assembled crowd. All right, good people of Salem, settle down, calm down. You know who I am. I am the Reverend Cotton Mather. I'm here to tell you how to detect a witch that may be in your community. We have found a couple already, so do not panic. They are safely locked away. There were simple tests for us to determine and confirm that they were witches. And I'm going to tell you, good people, what we do to detect the witches so that you can as well. You can let the authorities know, you can let the church know about any potential witches that may be around you. First, you must understand how the witch afflicts others by the use of malefic venom cast from her eye into her victim. Now, how you can counter the malefic venom is to have the suspected witch touch their victim. And while the victim's having a fit, if the touch stops the fit, then the venom has gone back into the witch, and that has confirmed that that particular witch has afflicted that particular victim. Now, if you can't determine who's afflicting who, that's fine. You can also go into the home of a suspected witch. You can find out things there as well. We can go into their homes and we can do a search of their homes. And if you do a search and you find any books of horoscopes or of any other supernatural reading material of any kind, that is probably a witch's home. As well as you want to look for pots of ointments or lotions or anything of that matter. That is obviously witchcraft. And the main thing that we look for in a physical examination of a suspected witch are particular marks or blemishes that we refer to as the devil's teats. Now, this is where the devil literally sucks the life force out of the particular witch, because that witch has made a deal with the devil for her supernatural magics, and in exchange for those magics and powers, the devil uses that particular teat to suck out that witch's life force. Now, we can see those teats. If you do a physical examination of the body, they look like moles or warts or any such kind of blemish that when touched or poked or prodded, it creates no pain, causes no sensation whatsoever. So the next time you're out and about and you see a woman or a man, they could be both. If you see a weird blemish that wasn't there maybe the day before, that person is probably a witch. Go ahead and poke that blemish and find out if they are sensitive or not to the poking. If not, they are a witch.
My wife has hair on her chin. Does that count?
No, Bill. Your wife's just a very hairy woman. Don't worry about that. Hair on the chin? No. Are there any other questions from the crowd? Yes, sir.
What if a woman turns me down for a date? That means she's already dating the devil, right?
No, that doesn't mean she's dating the devil. I think that just means she doesn't want to date you, sir. However, it's worth looking into anyway, because you are a very good-looking man. That's right. Yes, sir.
You have any more of that witch cake? It tasted real good.
No. You're not supposed to eat the witch cake. Did you guys eat the witch cake? No, there's no more witch cake. We only made the one witch cake. You're supposed to feed it to a dog. You're not supposed to eat it yourself. There's urine in that cake. Urine from the afflicted girls. What are you doing eating that? You're supposed to feed it to a dog, and if the witch feels pain from the dog eating the witch cake, then that's a witch. Oh, for God's sake. Are we going to make another witch cake? Oh, anyway, I've told you all you need to know. Now get out there and find me some witches. Although initially some of the accused were prosecuted solely on spectral evidence, or the testimony of the afflicted who claimed to see the apparition or the shape of the person who was allegedly afflicting them, Cotton Mather and others urged the court to find more evidence before convicting. Evidence like confessions, books of horoscopes, pots of ointments in the possession or home of the accused, or witches' teats, which were moles or blemishes somewhere on the body that were insensitive to touch. With such evidence in hand, the court has convicted dozens of suspected witches, and so far has carried out the execution of 19 over 4 execution days from June to September of 1692. Aside from these executions and the 5 poor souls who died while still in prison, one poor accused man at the age of 81 who refused to enter a plea was crushed to death by stones when the judges applied an archaic form of punishment called peine forte et dur, in which stones were piled on his chest until he could no longer breathe. Our very own Hank was present in Salem on the latest execution day, in which 8 convicted witches were hanged, and he turned in this report. Woohoo! Yeah, hang that witch! Burn her! Oh, we're not burning them? Okay. Hang the witches! Woo! Whoa, yeah! What? Oh, say sorry, Yank. Sorry, Yank. Hank here. I'm just outside the gallows where they're hanging more witches. It's pretty fun. It's a great time. Someone gave me their hat. I mean, look at this thing. It's amazing. We're having just the best time out here, Yank. There's witches hanging. Unfortunately, nobody's being burnt. I was promised burning witches, but I guess they don't do that in Salem. Nobody's on fire, but we do have 8 more witches being hung as we speak. Demon spawns, hell spawns, the devil's children, the devil's wives, etc., etc. It's an inspiring, wonderful night. The entire town has come out to witness the executions. There's a whole spirit of camaraderie around here. Everybody's just having a great time. If we had fireworks, we'd be shooting off fireworks for sure. Hey, what's that? This? The microphone.
Micro what? That looks
No.
like witchcraft.
No, wait. You made a mistake. Back to you, Yank. Thanks, Hank. As he demonstrated, the hysteria in Salem has reached a fever pitch with this latest round of executions, but already the craziness has begun to die down. This is due in no small part to many cautioning about the reliance on spectral evidence, and noted minister Increase Mather stating, "It were better that 10 suspected witches should escape, than that one innocent person should be condemned." Also, Governor Phipps himself has recommended shutting down the special court and move future prosecutions to another one, possibly because his own wife was recently accused, and so far, no one else has been convicted. Though the panic in Salem has subsided for now, the specter of hysteria and mob madness will always threaten to rear its ugly head all over the world, and when it does, headline histories will be there. See you next time. Good night.